Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 129 of the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast. A little bit of a momentous occasion for us. This is the 500th piece of content that we have created over the last 2 years. That includes podcast episodes, daily ristretto episodes, brew and review, yes or no with Scott Rail, blog posts, all those types of things. But this is also the last one that we're going to have for a little while. Mike and I are going to take a short sabbatical from recording these podcast episodes to focus on some other things that you have asked us to create. Let's talk more about it and jump right in. Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast. I'm Jake Goebel. With me is Mike Kincaid, and this is episode 129 of the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast. We have been with you for 129 episodes. For those of you who are first joining us or joining us for the first time, thank you. I've had a little too much coffee. Welcome.
We've got 8 glasses in front of us.
For those of you who have been with us before, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We started this podcast. We started recording 2 years ago in July of 2016. We recorded a bunch of podcast episodes, sharing a microphone. Mike and I now each have our own mic.
One mic.
We would sit in between one mic and we would record right into GarageBand.
Across from each other.
Yeah, we'd sit across from each other.
Deeply.
Into each other's eyes.
No. Not eyes.
What are you looking at?
My eyelids, because I always have my eyes closed.
Okay. So we would record at Starbucks, and then we recorded at Peavine, which was in the mall.
Yeah, we went there a lot.
We went there a lot, so much that the security guard took a liking to us, and the girl working at Subway would avoid a potential suitor who would come around in the wee hours of the morning.
Hide in the back. That was good stuff.
We would record to talk about, hey, what do we want to do? What do we want to do in this coffee space? Is this a business that we want to pursue? We recorded, we talked about roasting. Do we want to just brew? Do we want to make a coffee shop? What do we want to do? But we launched it January 1st, 2017 with 10 podcast episodes. I also used Jeff Goins' 500 words a day to write blog posts for the site. And I wrote them every day in the month of January of 2017. I wrote a blog post every day. I'm not saying any of it was any good, mind you, but I did do it. So we wrote blog posts about coffee. We recorded podcasts about coffee. And at the time, we had set a goal for ourselves. And our goal was to find something that we could sustain indefinitely if we wanted to.
For the rest of our lives.
Like, we can do this forever. Nobody can stop us. It's not so financially crippling or crippling from time-wise that we won't be able to keep doing it whatever we want to. It's our show. It's our coffee show. It's Orange Cactus Coffee. And that started to change a little bit. We wanted to say, well, could we make this a coffee business? So we sold some old Bitcoin miners and power sources for it, and we bought our first roaster. We roasted up some coffee. We sold that coffee. And then we used other cryptocurrency transactions to buy another roaster. And we started selling more coffees. We sold out of our first coffee. It was from Mexico. And now we have 6 offerings in coffee. And we wanted to know, hey, can you do this? Can you start roasting? And over the last year and a half that we've been public, 5 offerings? 5 offerings, thank you. Over the last year and a half that we've been, out in the world, out in public, we specifically have tried to serve a community that we didn't even know, or would anyone listen? And then we tried to answer that, how can we serve them better? And that has kind of taken on a life of its own with 2 kind of distinct groupings of people that listen, or the communities that follow us.
Yeah.
There's some of you, a group of you, you want to start your own coffee business, and you're doing a great job. You're doing a smoking hot job. You have taken notes on the boxes. You have taken some of the research and just people that we've started paying attention to.
Yeah.
And you're
absolutely.
starting to knock it out the park.
Yeah. Some of the same social media, approaches.
Yeah.
Using it, leveraging it.
All of us good.
What we've learned and experienced.
And many of you have, reached out via email and messages, and we've done our best to try and help you in any way that we can. And we're not experts. We never claimed to be experts. And then there's also a group of you who just want a better coffee experience. And we aim to serve both of you, both groups. We want to serve anyone that will listen to us. We want you to have a better coffee experience. So those who listen and read and never buy coffee, you are most welcome here with us. For those of you who buy coffee but don't listen much or don't read much, we're very thankful to have you, even though you might not, hear me.
We want you to get what it is you're after.
What you're
and be
after.
satisfied and nothing more. That's it.
And that goal has been realized, where we said, hey, we wanted to see, can we do this? Well, we can do it.
Yeah.
We wanted to say, can we continue this indefinitely, a little coffee podcast? And the answer is yes. Yes, we can. We can keep doing this just as we're doing for whenever we want to, whenever we want to stop. But that doesn't mean that we can do everything that we want. Mike and I both work full-time jobs at a bank, which name's not important, but we aim to deliver a tremendous amount of value to our employer because, they give us money and they allow us to take care of our family, support our families, and they support the show. Really, the bank does in a very real sense. People buying coffee support the show as well, but we want to be faithful to the employers that we have. That means there's a limit to the time that we have to give to coffee. And right now we spend a lot of hours, mostly on Tuesdays, creating content. I edit audio later on in the week, but we record mostly on Tuesdays. And then Mike will edit video and put it out there. The daily ristretto I try to do in the mornings. But it doesn't take up so much time that it interferes with our full-time job. And we couldn't let Orange Cactus Coffee, we ain't making that much money to the point where we can kind of go all in full-time. And all that is a roundabout way to say we want to change how we serve you. We are motivated by what you want. And it's become clear that what you want from us is going to take a little bit more time, energy, thought, planning, and preparation than what we currently have to give in the free time that we have. So outside of recording, editing, working, all those things, what you have told us that you want on both fronts, from those of you who just want a better coffee experience to those of you who want business advice or business, the inner workings. And I'll give you a little example here. When we put out these little questions, we put out a question last Friday that says, do you prefer to learn brewing techniques from a video or a PDF? This was a very popular post for us on Facebook. And video for sure, Michael Whiting says. And that is how I found you guys. Jeremy Davis says video. Marcus H. says video. Mikkel Duinesveld says both. Look at the video a few times, then brew myself with notes or PDF. Herr Kampfhammer, James says video. Maria Foley says video. Mark and Crystal Andrews say video. And many others have reached out to us both email, messages, conversations, and said they want, guides, videos, things of that nature. Both. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Both. Ultimately, both, right? Yeah. Gary Vee would say, do both.
Yeah.
And so what that means is that we have made a decision to give you what you want. And it's not what we originally planned. Like we said, we want to do something for us. Can we have a podcast? Yes, we can. Can we roast coffee and sell it? Yes, we can. Could we continue doing this? World can't stop us. You know what I mean? Yes, we can. Are we outside of the coffee industry? Yes, we are. Do we feel like they can, somebody can shut us down? No, we don't feel that at all. But we want to provide you with a better experience. That means we're going to make a little bit of a change.
Yep. That's it.
That was your segue, Mike.
No.
That was me passing the baton. I know I was talking straight for 10 minutes and you were graciously patient, but I think that set it up. Did I forget anything? Did I miss anything?
No, I think that was a great rundown. It was a fair shake.
But you're going to talk to us a little bit about the future.
I briefly fell asleep with my eyes open.
Wake up. Have a little more coffee.
I'm back.
Oh, you drank all the Columbia. Do you want the rest of mine?
No, I have to stop, actually. I think that's what my problem is sometimes you have too much, right? And you're kind of just like, I can't focus on anything. So let's have a podcast where we need to focus and talk.
Yeah.
No, Jake's absolutely right. Just to kind of interject my thoughts on that, we want to leverage and take advantage of all of the relationships and all of the information, that we've learned. We've learned a fair amount of coffee. We wouldn't call ourselves experts, but if you want to talk coffee, we can have that conversation. If you want to talk how to brew, we can have that. Roasting, anything really within the coffee sphere, we feel like we've got at least a foundational understanding.
Yeah.
And because of that, because of our journey, we've met many, many people, many peoples. Some that are experts in the industry, some that are just doing the same thing as us. And we think it's time to bring them in. We think it's time to start being a little more pointed and calculated with the content we create, so that it will better serve these two groups of people that Jake just mentioned. The consumer that's looking to have a better coffee game, or maybe they just don't know there's better coffee available. We want resources that speak to them. We want resources that speak to you and say, hey, I should share this. This makes sense. This is easy. Go here. You'll see everything you need to know to get started. And then the other group, those that are kind of in the industry or want to get in the industry or want to work in the industry but remain an outsider, kind of like us in some fashion, we want more pointed material for that. So our thought in kind of this shift a little bit is to put some work into it. Put some real
we can't do both.
Work into creating the next show. The next, I guess you could call it, series of
the next show. Iteration.
The next iteration. Yeah. We're going to have, simply put, we're going to try and have a show, a series that is dedicated to the consumer, better coffee, starting from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And we want to bring in people that are experts in certain subjects, that can speak on those subjects. This isn't like a new idea. Other shows, other podcasts do something similar, but it's not hosted by Jake. So it will be different. I guarantee that. I think
like good different or just bad different?
That's to be determined.
Oh man.
You'll be the judge. And then, we also want to have a series on, okay, here's kind of everything that we've experienced on the business side behind the curtain. And here's the people we've got to build relationships with. And here's maybe some more pointed content for those of you who are looking to pursue that path.
Yeah.
And so in order to do that, we said, well, we either need to hire somebody to help us, that could take on maybe all the editing and all the post work with the main show. So that would free us up to focus on creating a new show, or we just got to reallocate. And that's what we're doing. We have limited resources. We have to reallocate essentially where our time goes. And that's what we're going to do. And we think we're hopeful that it's going to be great. It seems like now's the right time. 2 years into this, 18 months into broadcasting.
It's what you've asked for. You've asked for a cleaner website. You've asked for more digestible information. You've asked for video brew guides. You've asked for PDF brew guides. You've asked for roasting guides. You've asked for books. You've asked for a better, cleaner experience. And quite frankly, we can't give that to you and maintain our current content calendar. So we're going to take a sabbatical. We're going to take a little break of
Sabotage.
Putting out the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast and Brew and Reviews, kind of the big daddies.
The time consumers.
We're going to take a little break from those. Now, you're still going to have some content coming out. Mike has graciously allowed me to continue the daily ristrettos to my heart's desire. We have Yes or No with Scott Rayos. And to be real honest with you, the reason why those aren't out yet is we just haven't had time. But I need to get them out to you. And it's there. It's just I haven't had time to get to it because we've been so busy with other things. So what you've communicated you've wanted or you want, we're unable to give to you. So we could just keep doing what we're doing. And that would be easy for us to maintain the status quo and just stay Jake and Mike focused. But we've been so critical. We're so critical of everybody else not doing what is right for you, not giving the consumer what the consumer wants, that we've decided, hey, maybe we need to actually live out a little more genuinely what we preach. And so that's one of the things. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why we're going to take a little break from the Orange Cactus Coffee podcast, from Brew and Review, from these things that take a lot of time. So that doesn't mean we're going to go anywhere. We're going to still be there. We're still interacting with you on Instagram, Facebook, taking pictures. But it means that you're not going to have, a 45-minute show
twice a week.
Yeah. Or a half-hour show twice a week.
I think
it just means you're going to have little shows, little somethings.
And I think as we progress, really what we're doing is we're sacrificing what's good for something that's better. We're taking something that's going along, and we think it's been awesome. The interactions, the people we meet, the conversations, everything that's come through this show from you guys has just been overwhelming. And the response, and it just showed, our original goal. Is there even a proof of concept here that we can create a show?
Yeah, there is. We did it.
And that goal has been checked. So now the next goal is being rolled out. And so the
next goal was kind of given to us, right?
Well, the next goal has been kind of just solidified. It's clarified in our minds over the last couple of weeks as we're trying to contemplate where do we go. It just seems to be clear that, yes, we want to enhance that experience for both groups of people and all the content we put out there. And how do we do that? What's that practically look like? Well, I need time to take your ideas, your feedback, and inject that into our material.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, we can't hire. We kind of put it out there. Well, how do we accomplish that? And the one that we could afford and the one that was feasible was
the one we're going to do.
Was the one we're going to do. Absolutely. So,
yeah, but you're still going to see right behind the scenes on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. We're still going to be engaged and there in the community. And
absolutely. And I think
we're still going to be selling coffee. You know what I mean? None of that's going to change. We're still here. We're just not going to be having big shows. Big podcast.
I think we're probably going to be working maybe harder than ever, honestly, on these new shows. It's just going to be kind of behind the scenes, silent work that's not in front of a camera that you guys can see. However, as we progress and we hit milestones within these new projects, or maybe we'll put out as some of these concepts get a little more traction, or I don't know, life. You can update people on the DR, the Daily Ristretto, and put some teasers out there, and we'll keep you up to date on what it is exactly we're working on, in more detail as those come about.
Yeah.
So all that to say, we're still here. We still want your feedback. We still want your comments. We still want to interact. None of that's going away, and I would say even more so, we need it just as much as we produce this new content and create this new these new segments for the show.
It's not just a show. I mean, we're creating all kinds of new things, right? I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but we're going to create a lot.
And create it all. Yeah, I think that's it. That's if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns.
Yeah. Or more desires, more things that you want. Hit us up.
Yeah, and we still appreciate, it is kind of the last few days of July here.
That's right.
We've kind of
still
been
asking for reviews.
Well, and I think it's still appropriate because, like Jake said, we have 129 shows of the main and 19 Brew and reviews and 200 and some odd DRs.
Yeah, 240. Well, by the time this comes out, 246 daily. So
there's still a good content catalog that can be promoted, and people can go back and listen. That's the great thing about podcasts. All the time, I find shows and I go back and I start at number 1 or wherever, and you might even see some of that content resurfaced a little bit.
I listened to a bit of number 1 today, and I was like, those guys didn't really know what they wanted to do, and now it's kind of clear that we want to serve you guys.
I can see clear.
The best way to do that is to take a little break. Take a little break and do more better.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it's really not a break. I mean, it's a break.
It's a break from content that's coming out.
Exactly. Yeah.
But not a break of work. It's just
it's a shift.
Yeah, shifting the work.
It's a shift. Back to 3rd gear so we can make it to 5th. We've been stuck in 4th. We want to go to 5th. So down to 3rd.
I thought it was an electric car.
Get the RPMs up.
Like one gear.
We're not that efficient yet.
1 gear.
No, 1 gear. 1 gear, yep. 0 to 120 in 5 seconds. Nope, not us.
So
cool. That's the rundown.
This is short, but
that was hopefully an exciting. No, that wasn't exciting.
It is exciting, but it's driven by our desire to serve you. That's it.
I got nothing else. So hang tight. We're hoping to have some stuff later this year. That's our goal. We really want to bring some nice, this new awesome content. Maybe by some of the holidays. I don't know. Don't hold us to it, but November looks like a something target. Moving target. I don't know.
That's great. Let's move the target.
It's not a stretch goal. Stretch goal is where you go past the goal.
No,
it's a pre-goal.
No, stop.
Yeah, without doing too much preliminary, that's kind of what we're looking at. Hopefully within 3-4 months, we'll have some sweet stuff for you. But Jake, you'll keep them updated.
Yeah. Till then, you'll still get...
Check out the DRs. Keep it plugged into our socials, and you'll know what's going on.
Shake your body now.
Thanks for listening, and as always, you can check the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 129. If you have had some requests that you've been holding back on because you've been worried that, we're busy, we don't have time to get to your email, we don't have time to do what it is that you want us to do, now is a perfect time to add your request to the list. Jacob at orangecactuscoffee.com, Mike at orangecactuscoffee.com. We will catch you again as soon as we can. Thank you for listening.